Over 1 minute of 6 different studio logos, only one of which you've ever heard of before. And if you tell me you know AI, or Pulse, or Blockbox, or Valparaiso, or Saturn, I will call you a liar and ridicule your ancestors for producing you. And then another 30 seconds of reading the names of these same companies. I swear, movies are worse than NASCAR at this point. Calling to a pig like you would a dog. Just because that Silverado commercial makes you think that cats and other animals will act exactly like a dog does, doesn't mean it's true. Not naming this movie Piggyback. Starting your contemplative movie with nature porn cliche. Specifying dividing points for your movie's parts. I'll decide where the film sections start and end myself, thank you very much. Also, a rustic mushroom tart is basically a sauceless mushroom pizza, so just calm down there for a second, foodie world, because I could order that shit from Domino's. Eating the forest. Babe be damned, this pig is freakishly adorable. It's as if director Michael Sarnowski heard all the Star Wars fans touting Grogu as the cutest creature ever to grace any screen, and then he told him to hold his beer. With that being said, I've just been reminded that Baby Yoda's name is in fact Grogu, and for that, I still have to sit. Flower showers. Wearing a onesie without a butt flap over the age of 4. It's like when women wear a romper in public. You're gonna have to poop at some point, so just know that that whole thing is gonna have to come off.
Nope. Nope.
What exactly does Amir think the pig will do to his car by sniffing the tire? He's already driving the car through a goddamn forest. If the car is going to get any damage, it's going to come from the tires kicking up rocks or low-hanging tree branches.
I don't know, this little fucker does it.
Well, I'm guessing she responds a lot more kindly to people that don't refer to her as little fucker.
You know, there's like animals and shit out here.
It's called scat out here, Amir. There's animals and scat out here. We find out that this is a very sentimental recording for Robin, and yet he stores it without a case? If you're gonna have unprotected cassettes, you're gonna have to pay the consequences. That's like Safe Sets 101 stuff.
It's just coyotes. Maybe that girl.
Just coyotes? Just coyotes? Coyotes will tear that hog to shreds, man. And sure, you're in a cabin, but if I was scared and you were like, just spiders with lightsabers, go back to bed, I'd still be freaked the f*** out. So what? I have very specific fears. Spiders could hold so many lightsabers. So, did they know he was standing right behind the door? Why kick in the door if you think he's sleeping? And yes, we find out these are tripped out, emaciated tweakers later, which makes all of this working even more ridiculous. Scene does not contain Nic Cage saying, "If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you he has no money." But what it does have is a very particular set of squeals. Squeals that make him a nightmare for people like you. If you let my pig go now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you, and I will cook a really nice meal for you in hopes it will nourish the depths of your soul and soften your heart. It's interesting how this movie is just like John Wick, in that it represents all the scenes in John Wick where people were walking and sleeping and talking quietly, along with random shots of forests. I totally see how people could compare this to John Wick. Totally. If you've got this many leaves under your tarp, you have not tarped correctly. And this strikes me as exactly the kind of man who knows how to tarp. I realize this movie's committed to a mood, and that's great. It really is. But did we have to see Nicolas Cage struggling with getting the car in the right gear in real time? I'm with the guy in the car. This is just inconsiderate behavior. I don't care if you've had your pig buddy stolen and been hit over the head with a frying pan. Have the decency to walk on the side of the road. I was thinking I could root for this guy, but this middle of the road makes him near irredeemable.
Is, Marge here?
Marge died 10 years ago.
Telling someone you don't know that the person they're asking for is dead in this offhanded a manner.
100 years from now. Something so...
Movie has time for this car radio tiff. We get it. He's an asshole who doesn't know the immutable road trip law of driver chooses the music. You can move on. What's next? An argument over where to set the thermostat?
Wiki, you take over. Anyone f***s with Wiki, I'll break your fingers, motherfuckers.
I love her. This sin is because she and Cage don't team up for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, we appreciate that, Mac. We really do appreciate it.
You know what I appreciate, Discount Kristen Wiig? People who don't store things on top of electrical equipment. Get your scat together. We've now entered a travel montage that includes crossfades of city signs. Is this supposed to be a nod to film noir? When did this movie turn into The Lost Weekend all of a sudden?
I need $10.
Sure you do.
If Amir's okay with giving him $10, then he should be okay with getting robbed somewhere he could take a shower and get a change of clothes. I mean, if Amir's really that concerned with his reputation in the city, you would think he wouldn't want to show up with Rob looking like this. And good God, man, at least have someone with medical training look him over. He could have a f***ing concussion and die on you, which would make this 100% your problem. F***ing Amir.
You even know his real name?
So I guess that was a rhetorical question? Amir's just like, nope, but you've piqued my interest fine, sir. Just not enough to ask any follow-up questions to anyone until the plot needs it.
It's 9:15. What are we doing?
We're waiting until 12.
In real time? Because knowing this movie,
He's Buddhist.
I don't care.
that's Buddhist-ist.
I'm sticking my neck out. And we're in my city now, so you have to...
Amir owns Portland? The f does he need Rob for? And if you're saying that's not what he f***ing meant, it's just his expression, I would like to welcome you to the channel.
You're some fucking homeless asshole who probably f***s his pig.
First off, you've seen Rob's home. You know Rob has a home, Amir. Second, there are so many better ways to tell a person off than resorting to bestiality insults. Once you go bestiality, you can never go back. Wait, that's not what I meant.
So how about try and give me some fucking respect?
I don't my pig.
Nicolas Cage is the f***ing best.
Edgar's been running fights for restaurant workers for 30 years.
Damn it, Robin, the first rule of Top Chef is we don't talk about Top Chef. Also, this is all the explanation you will get about this. No worries, just take it on the movie's word that there are so many pissed off restaurant employees and desperate restaurant owners that these underground restaurant wars are populated enough in Portland for consistent midnight battles that rake in the dough. In a movie that feels mostly authentic, this whole segment feels like we stepped into Tarragon Wick fantasy style world building. Edgar lets the beating go on for several seconds after the clock runs down, and the movie will never let us know why. If there's something between these two, I want to know about it. Where's the exposition, movie? Put it on a newspaper clipping on a fridge for all I care, but exposit me!
I'm looking for my pig.
There's a Muppets version of this movie where Kermit plays the lead that should exist and yet doesn't. Stop naming your dishes as moms. First, whose mom are you talking about? And second, titling it in that way can only mean one of two things, and both are problematic. One, that only your mom can make it, because once you make it, it becomes your French toast. Or two, that it actually belongs to your mom, or my mom, or someone else's mom. If it's her French toast, why am I eating it? Amir brings Rob to a place with a shower and still doesn't make him take a shower.
You know, when I was a kid,
Skip! But also, no matter where this is going, I feel pretty confident also saying kids.
When a shockwave hits, most of the city will flatten. Every bridge will fall. There's nowhere to go.
Pessimism. Exposition via newspaper clipping on a fridge.
you want that 150% Corvusina?
Talking to yourself in the mirror about rare species of truffles. Welcome back to man that I think maybe I'm supposed to be rooting for walks down the middle of the road like some sort of absolute dick again, the movie. Enjoy your popcorn. Having a box fan in your open window substituting for an air conditioning unit. Portland has a pretty chill climate, but it still gets up in the high 90s, and even as far as 100 degrees a few days out of the year.
Sounds nice. What is it?
It's called the hand pan.
Cage looks like about the strangest, dangerous stranger danger to ever dangerous stranger. And this kid is all like, hey, want to try my exotic instrument I just happen to be playing in the backyard and maybe chat about persimmons for a bit? This sin is for the parents not teaching him to never talk to Nic Cages.
Does your face hurt?
Kid does not take the opportunity to follow this up with, well, it's killing me!
Today's journey begins by uniting the depths of the sea.
Restaurants who have their servers tell you stories about the food on their menu.
Listen, man, can we try to keep a low profile?
Yeah, you know what would have helped you keep a low profile, Amir? Make the man take a fucking shower!
Why don't you work for him?
I will, one day, you know, when I'm more established.
Your dad sounds terrible.
Glad that someone in Hollywood is finally tackling the far too long ignored stories of father-son relationships. It's about time.
Well, you know, we can't all live in the woods.
Actually, you could. In fact, that might be one of the few things in this world everyone could do.
Tell them who you are.
Or Amir could do that, but then we wouldn't get that extra 5 seconds of uncomfortable silence that this movie is f***ing determined to give us over and over again.
Oh my God, may I?
Asking if you can join people at a table after you've sat down and joined the people at the table.
I'm sorry, do you need medical attention?
How is Chef Finway the first person to ask Rob this question?
This is a 2012 Pinot from just 20 miles away.
Why is he telling them the distance from which the wine came? What matters is how long it rested after getting to the restaurant, and the location from where it came could factor in, but the distance said place is from the restaurant should not make a difference.
Truffles are a key part of the whole concept of the winter menu, and they need to be the top of the line. So you understand.
Asking someone to understand why you stole their mushroom detector pet.
You like cooking it?
The scene where Feld deconstructs this chef like he's deconstructing a meal is a microcosm of everything that makes this movie work. The Cage performance, the way it plays into the themes of loss and passion forgotten, the way it incorporates food. I'm sorry, but there's just way too much good here to not honor this with a sin-off for being so chef's kiss. Not letting the 2012 Pinot from 20 miles away breathe.
Derek. Who has my pig?
He's not somebody you want to make angry.
Movie teases an appearance by the Incredible Hulk and fails to give us Ruffalo or Norton. I'd have even settled for Banner. Also, Amir's getting the realization on his face that he knows it's his father who stole the pig. But why wouldn't he have already known that, or at least considered a possibility? He knows how ruthless his father is, and so does Rob for that matter, as we'll soon find out. Why wouldn't they have just gone to see the son of Alan Arkin first? Grand Theft Bicycle.
All great men are ahead of their time.
Listening to whatever this is.
I met the guy.
As we will find out later, Amir talking quietly to closed doors is an actual fucking character trait.
He told me the first day that he met you. It's actually sweet.
Is it an interesting story? How did this arrogant upstart kid find his way into the acquaintance of a chef loner who just happened to be able to find him truffles? I'd like to hear it. No? Not important? Also, if he didn't even know who Feld was, why would he be telling it like it was some sort of story? And how did his dad know who he was talking about? I'm not saying it's impossible, I'm just saying it's strange enough that the movie might want to clear it up for us.
And I didn't think the business would take off, but here I am with egg on my face.
In the same conversation that Darius tells Rob his son doesn't have the chops to truffle all the way to the bank, he also tells Rob that his son is running a successful business venture. The sin, as always, is shitty fathers who contradict themselves.
If I see you again, you do anything to with me, I will chop that pig up into bacon.
For someone so seemingly under control, he sure did clearly admit to a crime rather fast. There are ways to be intimidating without giving someone hard evidence, and Halloween H2O's Will Brennan should know this.
The trees tell you where to look.
Trees don't talk. Hunting and pecking your cellular device's touchscreen.
I'm gonna need you to drop me off and go and get everything on that list.
I can't get all this stuff.
We saw every single time he touched the screen, all 18 pokes. If he typed all the ingredients for this special meal in 18 characters, including spaces and returns, Chef Feld can prepare my hat for my consumption. A bird, a bottle, and a salted baguette? I'd give all the sins back if this was a Carson Carmack routine and there was something in the envelope about my college girlfriend's nicknames for my genitals.
He didn't ask me to, but I'm saving the one next to it for him. You tell him that, okay?
Asking someone to pass along the info that you have selected a place to stuff their dead body without their consent.
Can I have another?
Looking a gift card in the mouth. He's washing his hands. He's got no hairnet and 3-day-old face wounds that are more bacteria than wound by this point. But sure, get those hands all shined up, Rob. Gorgeous cooking montage is gorgeous, but I can't eat my TV screen, so this bird dish is a literal cock tease. Also, movie steals the ending of Ratatouille, except somehow in this one, the chef is even more gross.
Dad, can you come out here?
Thinking anyone could hear this through a closed door. Also, they've been in Darius's house this whole time, and he hasn't heard anything or left this room while they've been cooking? Being able to eat around someone that smells as bad as Rob must. Forgetting the life lesson of wine before liquor, never sicker. It rhymes and everything. Pig shows grief through characters' actions that very few movies can pull off. We don't know the exact story of what happened to bring Darius and Rob to this point in their life, but we don't really need to. For as much as I've made fun of all the non-action this movie possesses, and it possesses plenty, Pig captures concise and clear visual storytelling in a way that few films can.
She died.
What? A pig dies? This movie is a gluttonous porcine dish of death and sadness, and the chef shall hear of my disappointment.
What can I get you to?
You have any ham? Bacon? Maybe some pulled pork?
If I never came looking for her, in my head, she'd still be alive.
But she wouldn't be.
Callously dismissing Schrodinger's pig.
You okay?
Asking stupid questions to people who are grieving.
I think I'm gonna walk.
Let me guess. Right down the middle of the street. Crying wolf. Movie ends on 54 seconds of Rob taking his boots off. No! My ham! My ham!
Marge,
Marge died 10 years ago.
Be sure and tell him Large Marge sent ya.
You don't even exist anymore.
And like that, he's gone. Then you can give me a f***ing automobile, a f***ing Datsun, a f***ing Toyota, a f***ing Mustang, a f***ing Buick, 4 f***ing wheels and a seat.
I don't f*** my pig.
I don't care.
You talking to me? You talking to me? Well, then who the hell else are you talking to? Talking to me?
I'm the king of the jungle.
King Kong ain't got on me.
Are you a giant?
If you give it time, it gets rid of these things called tannins. And then they're very good.
Tannins?
Today's journey begins by uniting the depths of the sea.
May I ask, do you have any dishes that play with time?
This is a 2012 Pinot from just 20 miles away.
Why are you so into Pinot?
Just a dress.
Listen, man, I will get you a new one. I will get you a new one. I swear I'll take a hit for the season.
What is it?
P. Sherman 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney.
I'd like my pig back.
Listen, pal, I've lost 3 girls to smooth-talking musicians. You know what I mean?